ends into the chat room at the side there, so that they can start getting all of their comments out of the way. Because oh boy, do they ever get distracting!
I know, it's like Black Friday, isn't it? You know, when they all come just streaming through there.
This popularity is such a curse.
Wild. Yeah.
I don't know what we'll do.
Well, at least you enjoy it, and I enjoy it,
and
we get to drink beer.
It's we're not here as a money-making scheme, and the way I've mentioned it to people before is when I used to do a live stream of playing video games for raising money for charity. It was because
you still do, don't you?
Oh, I do now and then, less so now, but you know, this is when you have a small person and you're not getting any sleep, the energy levels.
Oh, I guess. Yes.
But my thing is always, sometimes if you're not quite getting your regulated amount of fun / enjoyment / social interaction and beer drinking, you know, this is the equivalent of once a week we go and have a chinwag over a pint at the pub.
Yeah. And you know what's incredibly exciting about that this evening? IPAs.
I know. I've been looking forward to this, and it's
crazy, isn't it?
It feels weird.
I know.
One of the main reasons that I've been looking forward to is there's one of my favorites that brought me over to sort of the more elusive and interesting IPA side of things. But regardless of that, it is 8:02 if we are all set. I am Roz. Joining me is my co-host Ian, and together, covered in a small amount of sprinkles of rain from the sky, we are attempting to drink Nova Scotia Dry.
Rain.
Just a wee bit of rain. And this is a conversation that's come up several times, and I mock people because we're getting the desired type of rain, because a lot of people said, "Oh, does that mean people who are not meteorologically gifted say things like, well, if it hasn't rained all summer, does that mean that it's all storing itself up and we're going to get this huge dump of rain at the end of it?" Like, no, that's not how clouds work at all. And then when people said, well, I hope we get a big downpour, or the hurricanes are going to come in, and then someone else always pipes up and says, no, that's not what we want. We want a little bit of rain, because if too much comes down, then it'll flood everything. And what you really want is like a steady drizzle for like a week or something like that. You do realize that you're trying to decide what would be best if nature were to do. And let me tell you something.
People have got nothing better to talk about.
That is not how nature works at all. It's not up there taking opinion polls and saying, "Oh, better have light rain instead of heavy rain."
It's the wrong kind of rain. This is what you're getting at.
But people tell you what to hope for. They say, "Oh, don't hope for that kind of rain." It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I could hope for fire and brimstone, and nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, and then there are people that say, "Well, it's not." I don't want to get into it. It's just people's inherent need to be right and to correct other people all the time on their
actually.
That's absolutely those people. That's not going to do anything. And the other people say yes, but every little helps. And then the other people will go in and say yes. Well, God bless, and
but we need more.
Praying for rain, and God, my. Oh, for God! Yeah. But get over yourselves, people, please.
The weather's going to do. We can't.
Not that important.
We can't yet control the weather, so you get what you get.
Well, we can, Ross. Actually, you're wrong. Because we can cloud seed. We've been cloud seeding since the 1950s, and another person will come in and say, "Oh, that's just nonsense. That's from the X-Files." And the next person will say, we've been doing that since the Vietnam War.
That's why it rained on certain inaugurations and not on others. That's because you people don't know it.
You sheeple.
You just don't get it. You don't understand. I watch a fringe YouTube series that explains everything, and it's just one guy. I'm like, oh, okay. We'll believe him. Okay. Regardless, yeah. So opinions known on certain things. That's us done. That's it. Oh yeah, we've already lost our hundreds and thousands of fans. Oh well, they're not coming back.
But following on from that, of course, you and I are going to now tell everyone, or nobody, that this one is worth drinking, and that one is, and that's no good. This one, you should drink that. It's that's what we're going to do.
You say that, but I like to think. I like to think that we're not just saying ugh and I feel like we're describing, and so if someone listens to us and we say, "Ooh, I hate this. It's so fruity and so dry," someone would theoretically hear that and go, "Ooh, fruity and dry. I like that kind of thing. I would like that because they of the way they described it, even though it's not quite their style." So everyone's got their own flavors and tastes, which is why I try to describe as many as possible. We've been over this anyway. Regardless, beers. We have beers, and again, we've been looking forward to an IPA night, and I decided to be all clever and call it. I managed to call it the Shades of Grey because we've got the white IPA and a black IPA, and a ghost IPA, which I have to assume is some sort of grayish, invisible, translucent gray between black and white, right?
You went to university, didn't you? You're one of these educated people. And therefore, yeah, this is the ghost ship one. Then should be, yes, completely translucent.
Well,
just like
not even there.
Transparent or translucent? Like a smoky.
I don't actually know what is translucent different than transparent. Transparent materials allow light to pass through it. Translucent materials allow some light to pass through it but scatter it, obscuring the view like frosted glass. So transparent is
translucent
glass.
A glass. Yes.
But what?
Right, okay.
Anyway.
Well, it's going to be translucent then.
I guess so. Because it's like going to be, yellow, regardless. So the white IPA from Nine Locks Brewery down in Dartmouth. This one comes in at 6.0 alcohol by volume in the 473 milliliter can. Nine Locks, blah, 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 blah. The white IPA is a light and hazy India Pale Ale with medium carbonation. Bready and malty with fruit and citrus notes. Pronounced hoppiness and aromas of coriander and orange peel. Nine Locks White IPA is a bright point in a sea of everyday IPAs. I like that last sentence.
So do I.
That is delightful. It goes on. It waxes more on the website. Super light and hazy IPA. Pronounced hoppiness. Perfectly paired with a distinct aroma of coriander and citrus. An epic sipping experience, they say. Epic sipping experience.
Do you get the impression, reading that it might be more of a West than an East Coast variety of everyday IPAs?
It says bready and malty.
Malty. I did pick up on that one word. But of course, I don't know.
It basically says it's got an explosion of everything. Distinct aromas, pronounced hoppiness, packed with fruit and citrus, and yet bready and malty. So it's just all dressed chips of IPAs, I guess. We'll find out what's to say. There was did you see there was a post in our Maritime Brew Appreciation Facebook page there, and someone was having a from Two Crows, I believe. There's something new, and they call it a West Coast Double IPA. And I went, And of course, there's a few comments saying, "Oh, thank goodness for a good West Coast IPA. I'm sick of all this juicy, hazy, hoppy thing." I'm like, you like these bitter pine needle flavored IPA? Okay, fine.
Well, I have to admit that my tastes have even with the IPA, I know I prefer it. No. But I guess I'm also now more acceptable of that West Coast.
Yeah, the West Coast. Okay.
That hurts. Traditionally hurts. I think I'm slightly more advanced. I'm more advanced. Is what I'm saying. I just said that you were educated, but I'm actually more advanced slightly in the IPA acceptance scale.
That's totally believable. Did you move your microphone-sided earpiece further from your face.
Oh, no. The whole thing is kind of.
Yeah, the whole thing has gone slightly awry. Awry?
Is it there? Is it there?
Yes.
I think the whole thing did.
There we go. Yeah. So the microphone went away. You didn't want it down your front.
Okay.
You hate headphone cables. What's happening here?
Does that sound better?
That's much better. Yeah. You were becoming very
Okay,
echoey
cool.
because your microphone was basically trying to escape down your back.
Running away. Okay. Does it look? It looks like a Westie. Sorry, I beg your pardon. It looks like an Eastie.
It looks like a New England. It's got the haze. The head on it. The head on it went away. I cannot keep the head on it, but now it just looks like a very gorgeous hazy juice. But it smells the business. I think I'm getting the fruity off the smell, but I'm also getting a breadiness off of there. I'm not quite getting the hoppiness. So I think that this is just going to be a really nice New England kind of IPA. I'm not entirely certain what the white IPA means. What is a white?
It's the can.
Is it just the can?
Color of the can.
Ah, here we go.
Yeah, it must be.
It is a hybrid beer style. It blends the bright, fruity, spicy flavors of a Belgian, like a wit beer. So basically, this is a wit beer IPA, and the hop bitterness and aroma of an American IPA. These beers are brewed with wheat.
Wow.
So it's a wheat IPA. Okay. I probably could have figured that out. But
Googled that earlier.
Do you have it all in the glass yet? How are we faring?
I'm just finishing, literally, just as we speak. I've poured the last dregs in there, and it's a shame that you said your head has gone away.
It went away quite quickly. I mean, it was there. It was very nice, but no, mine did go away. It was kind of unfortunate.
Okay.
Cheers.
And it's cheers. It's orange juice.
You were going to say something. But...
It is juicy, but it's also less tropical and juicy than the usual stuff that we really like.
It's not bursting with tropical. It's there. It's juicy on the front, but it's much more subtle than I was expecting. The smell was making me think it was really gonna plow through.
Orange then.
That's very easy to drink.
It's very refreshing too.
Quite nice, yeah. I now wish mine was a little colder. I got it out. This would be a nice.
Yeah, me too. I took mine out an hour ago, so it's still got the condensation on it. A malty, Ross. I guess. I tell you what. Do you know when we get those doubles, the double IPAs, and we feel that that the malt balance then has been ramped up a little bit, so it's as a result it's very, very smooth. And creamy, and that's what the mouthfeel to this is. As far as I'm concerned.
I feel like it's trying to. There's a hop character at the back end, and it's trying to give me that throat burn. You know, the acidity that we sometimes get, but it's only giving me like a very subtle reminder of that, and it's gone. It's like It's
So it's a tiny kick of it, just a little bit, without you going, oh, there's the West Coasty thing. But it's almost like a marriage of both of them, meeting in the middle. A Belgian wheat beer. Are they saying that the body of it should be, or I mean, okay, it's brewed with wheat.
Yes.
Okay. Hence, wheat beer.
Well, they don't actually say that, but we get to say "Zwit beer" a few times.
I think it's quite delicious.
Aroma of coriander and citrus peel. I get the citrus peel.
Citrus peel. So do I. Orange. Yeah, definitely. Coriander. I'm not getting at all.
I'm not getting that at all either. Bready malty, yes. Packed with fruit and citrus. Packed with fruit and citrus notes. Agreed. I agree that it's notes. Notes of fruit and citrus. They are there. A bright point in a sea.
Excuse me.
Aromas of coriander. So I guess the coriander and orange peels are part of the Witbier, where you get a little bit of that in the Witbier.
Okay.
And it is fuller bodied than a non-wheat beer. It's thick, which is interesting because the flavor combinations, hoppy or juicy up front, malty bready in the middle, and then hoppy down the back end. But all three are just kind of we're lowered down to about 33% of full speed ahead.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't taste. The body of it isn't light. It's thick. It's a pretty heavy body to it, I feel. But the flavors are
like
just
a pulpy orange juice rather than the non-pulpy version. Yeah, it's stringy. It's got a stringiness to it. It's,
I like that.
I do too. I think it's quite delicious. I don't know whether I'm. Am I hoping? Am I almost searching for more juice now? Because I've come to associate the New England styles, which I've fallen in love with really, really tropical and hazy and juicy things. And this isn't that. But like you say, it's dialed down. It's more subtle, and I think it's almost. It's meeting in the middle of the two distinct West and East coasts, and because I've got more of an acceptance now of the pinier versions, to give it a really crappy way of explaining it, I like this a lot, and it's 9 locks again.
Yeah,
it's 9 locks. I mean, for goodness sake, their frig off is just I'm all over that now.
I haven't had the frig off in such a long time. My go-tos this summer I have been going for the Propeller Galaxy, the Schoolhouse Fuzzy Peach Dippa, and the Cerberus, the purple can from Big Spruce. I've been going for the big strong juicy.
They're all
ones.
Good. Yeah, well, the frig off. I mean, I know we're talking about this white one here, but the frig off almost now has become my. I get it more than any other IPA, and I am buying that thing by kind of in 4s.
Well,
that's where I am with the frig off.
That's where I go to as well with NS IPAs, because you can get. Oh, I don't want the Alexander Keith's Pale Ale, and you can get the cases like a bigger amounts of certain ones of these. Availability, no special features, local taste profile, availability, blah 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 blah. It doesn't really say. Product size, the 4-packs of cans. And a Boxing Rock and Propeller seem to be the ones that you can buy in 4-packs.
Right. Well, I'm just going in and picking up 4 cans of 9 locks, individual ones by themselves. And the further I get down the glass, Ross, the West and the dryness of the West is beginning to win over. If there is a battle between the two going on, it's getting drier the further down the glass I get. Are you getting the similar?
I'm getting that it could be construed as dry just because it's not so obviously flavored. The flavor is distant at each intersection. You're working your way through it. So I wouldn't exactly call it dry. I think I would just call it. I don't want to say weak tasting. Just
oh God. No, it's not weak.
No,
not weak tasting. No, the
maybe you're right. That's what
juiciness, the citrusiness, the juiciness from the fruit is slowly dissipating, and the dryness of the hops, I'm getting more now the further I get down the glass, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because, like I say, they're slowly winning me over, the Westies. This isn't there at all, but it's it's heading that way.
Mm.
9 Locks Wheat, you picked it up. You said is a bright point in the sea of everyday IPAs. So they admit themselves that that there's so many of them, and it's hard to wade through them all. And some are still, some you're still like, nah, that's just another IPA. But there are others also that you go, oh, that's quite different.
Yeah,
this is quite different.
It is quite different.
Yeah.
Well, it's my favorite white IPA I've ever had.
Ever had. Can you remember?
It's the first
I haven't had
white
it in such
IPA I've had.
That's. I knew you were getting at that. That's where I
think.
I think. When we had one of those really early IPA evenings, when we had 6 around at your place, and I think I had bits, all of them, but then handed them all to Keir, and he proceeded to get hammered like on 18 IPA. I remember thinking at the time, my favourite that evening was the IPA by 9 Locks. Is it not?
Yep.
Right. Well, they must have a whole sea of IPAs themselves, if that's the case, because they've got the Frig Off, and they've probably got 2 or 3 others that don't spring to mind. I haven't, to my memory at least, I don't think I've revisited the IPA since then.
I've almost been a little afraid to.
Changed. Well, this is it, because it was my favourite then, and I thought this one's actually quite nice. It's the best of the bunch that we had that night. I think what I need to do is just buy a little can of that, because I think it's still on sale, isn't it? Not the IPA. I think it's still in the liquor stores. Yeah, and see whether as a result of our experiments with IPAs over the last couple of years, whether or not that one now, am I going to drink it and say, oh my God, this is what on earth, what's happened? Because my taste buds have clearly changed. Maybe I won't like that one as much, or maybe I'll now think it's the best thing ever, and I want more of it.
That's entirely possible. Did you know?
It's possible.
Did you know that? Hopefully you know that. But of the Frig Off East Coast IPA, 9 Locks also has in their seasonals actually the Little Frigger, which is basically the Frig Off's feisty younger sibling, the same super hazy vibes and the same everything. This East Coast Session IPA is only at 4.5%, because the Frig Off, you will probably know, is, what's that say? Does that say 6.7? Hot damn.
The tiny Frigger. Is it? What's it called?
Little Frigger. Yeah.
Little Frigger.
So you could get a sessionable Frig Off, and we'll have to try that at some point. But yes, the Frig Off IPA, the IPA, and their Fathom Double IPA. That's basically their flagships. That's everything that they've got. And then the Little Frigger and the White IPA are their seasonals at the moment. That's what's up.
Oh, so that's the seasonal, the White IPA. It's an autumnal version.
Yeah. But also, it's a wheat. It's made with wheat. It's not like your usual. This isn't your grandfather's IPA. This is one made with wheat.
All right, I want to try the Little Frigger now. I'm desperate. I want to just run out of this room right now and go to the liquor store. Is it? Does it say it's available in the stores? Or I'm
about to find out. There are 65 cans available in the New Midas store. It says.
Awesome.
And Kentville. So Kentville and New Midas, but further closer.
Guess where I'm going tomorrow?
Kentville. Port Hawkesbury.
That's fine. Kentville.
Yeah.
Kentville, I think that's about Windsor.
New Midas, Kentville, Windsor. Those are the only ones.
This is interesting because, of course, they're all IPAs, Russ. So therefore, we are directly comparing, but we're not, because it's white and black. It couldn't get any more dissimilar if it tried.
Yeah, which is why. And I'm having a hard time saying I really enjoyed that. It's the best white IPA I've ever had.
Me too.
I don't know how you'd make it better or worse, but I love the haziness. I don't even know if am I going to save a bit of that? What am I comparing it to if I'm going to save it?
I'm totally saving it. I totally am.
All right, little
I
tiny
want to come
bit for
back to
later.
it after I've had the other
That's
one.
fine. Well,
I'm kind of guessing without even reading the can. I never read any of it, that the black IPA might be maltier. Just a hunch.
that's what I recall.
Maltier still.
That's what I recall. But in
okay.
between black and white, we have Ghost. So the Propeller Brewing Company out of Halifax, they have the Ghost Ship IPA. Ghost Ship, which I have decided is in between black and white. Whatever. Maritime legends speak of a burning ship that haunts the shores of the Northumberland Strait. It's got a Wikipedia entry, by the way. I read it today. Inspired by the centuries-old tale, Ghost Ship IPA emerges from the mist with flickers of juicy peach, followed by hints of citrus and pine. Smooth and bright, yet shrouded in mystery, it invites you to chase the unexplained. Why does Propeller make so many damn IPAs? I think at one point they had, because they've got IPA, they have literally just Propeller India Pale Ale, they've got Propeller Double IPA, and then for a while there was the Azaka IPA, there was the Cold IPA, there's this Ghost Ship IPA, you've got the Galaxy Double IPA. They do a lot.
Isn't there an obvious answer to that? Because IPAs are really popular right now, and they have been forever. They are for the last like 3 or 4 years. So therefore, they're just jumping aboard ship. But we were led to believe that maybe the crest of the wave had been crested. The wave had been crested when we went to that Discovery Science of Beer thing a year or 18 months ago, and they said that we may have peaked and we're on the downside now. But you still can't move for IPAs in the sea of IPAs in the liquor stores.
I don't remember if we brought this up at the time, but the trend that I've noticed, that everything was it has to be an IPA and it has to be the sourest tasting gross thing ever. You get the sours in the summertime and whatnot, but it's these session beers, these 4.5, 4.0s. It's, hey, come on out and have a not ABV beer anymore. You have to get something that you can have 2 of on a patio and then drive home, because as Nova Scotianers, we all live a mile away from each other, so you always have to drive home afterwards. So just going to someone's house and smashing down 3 7%ers and heading home, that's not well, theoretically it's never been okay.
Theoretically,
we won't get back into a conversation about drunk driving again, but anyway.
I'm led to believe that from tales of yore, when I first arrived here, and I noticed that the driving was quite eccentric at times.
There you are.
By certain people, that up until the sort of 60s or 70s, there was no driving test in Nova Scotia. Old tales abound of people driving the streets. And or if there was, it was like, get in the car, turn the ignition on, like drive 100 yards backwards or forwards and put your blinkers on, and you've passed your driving test. Was how it used to be until maybe sort of 50 years ago or so, when some kind of structured law was brought out to say, no, this isn't probably good enough. But it might be because I don't know. It might be just because old wives' tales and just people don't quite remember correctly. But that's what I was led to believe, that back in the sort of 50s and 60s, there was no real urge to have people take massive driving lessons and tests, because it was such a rural area still, and farming was still a big thing here in the valley, and people just sort of did what they did to move around, and it wasn't such a big thing to have
my mother tells stories.
People behind weapons of mass destruction.
My mother emigrated to Nova Scotia in the late 70s, just before I was born, actually. And she tells the story of, back up, pull in, do this, not all that much. My driver's test, I tell my daughter about this one, where you had to, out in rural Nova Scotia, so just kind of dirt sides of the roads. I didn't, my driver's ed instructor took us into Halifax, took us into the city, and we had to operate the rotary and whatnot. But that wasn't part of the test. The test was just You came out of our high school, our rural high school, turned right, went up the road. There was a subdivision, went into the subdivision, did 2 stop signs, pulled over at the side of the road, came back, and then you drove back to the school, and you had to back into a parking space, and that was it. That was all I had to prove.
That wasn't much at all.
No.
Right. Yeah. No.
And the rest of it is
much.
But the thing is, rural driving tests, because my daughter's boyfriend, he took his test pretty recently, and he found himself a nice cheap car, and then he got a job, and they said, yeah, okay, and he joined a work crew, and he's on sites, and he had to drive the work truck into the city. They were on a work thing there, and he said, I've never driven in the city before. I haven't been tested on this. I wasn't there. There was nothing. He said, I've never driven myself in a car by myself next to a sidewalk before. And I went, yeah, I remember the first few times I went through the city all by myself, and it was kind of a, I am a country mouse. What is happening?
There's not even you don't have to drive on the motorway, on the freeway, or the highway.
No.
It's part of your driving lessons or your tests.
Which explains all of how bad drivers are.
It does.
It explains 100%.
There's some way to explain that, doesn't it?
When you get on the on-ramp behind someone, and they rev it, and halfway along the on-ramp, they get to 70 kilometers an hour, and then they're like, that's good. That's fine.
Merging.
I just need to keep doing 70, and then they panic, jutter their way up there. Yeah. Anyway, we could complain about drivers.
All they've literally, you've obviously seen, and this happened to me only the other day, where there was a person stopped on the off ramp, literally in the middle of the road on the off ramp, not across the white line, so they're kind of half in the dirt, but they were stopped. It was like they thought, maybe I shouldn't have gone off that off-ramp there. I'll just stop here and have a think and maybe get my map out or my GPS. And there were people literally driving up behind them, swerving to go around them on the off-ramp and then carry on again while they were stopped in the middle of the road. I thought, they're either having a mental breakdown in the road, or they just have no idea about driving.
I have driven
one or the other.
Rurally, outside of the city for most of my life, and I remember saying this to my wife, that this is the only place that this county, Kings County, is the only place I have ever driven where the drivers at some points have been so bad, I have thought to myself, it has gotten to the point where I'm a little curious and wondering if I should alert the authorities about a medical emergency is occurring in that car right now. If you are such a bad driver, it makes me think, should I call an ambulance because
Something
you are having a heart attack currently?
Or a stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, or your glycoma.
You are that bad. I think you are horrendously
dangerous.
Yeah,
just dangerous, basically.
Something is going on to hinder your ability to do whatever we're supposed to be doing right now. The head's gone on the propeller as well.
I was going to say, but then what you do every single time when you see some weird, extravagant piece of driving, eventually you just go, well, someone else's problem now. I got past them. They'll be okay. Yep. Until the next thing comes on, you're like, it's madness. But it is what it is.
It makes me slightly envious of drivers in New York. You see these shows in New York City where if someone impedes you even in the slightest bit, is lay on the horn and like, oh, get out of the way. We're around here. I mean, if you honk the horn, no matter how dumb the maneuver someone is doing, they will look at you like you just slapped their grandmother.
I never used to honk my horn. I know, I never used to honk my horn for that very reason.
That I moved here.
It's only very recently I've started to do it. There is something slightly obnoxious about someone that sits there honking on the horn as they're not. So therefore, you pull back from doing that. So you can give someone a hard stare or just go, hey, with your hand. But literally, as they go. But I had to do it the other day because it got to the point where I thought, what is this guy I'm going to let them know that they are doing something really, really wrong.
Yep.
Where I'm going down the highway, double rigid lines on both sides of the highway, like, literally 2 here and 2 on the other side. And he still wanted to come blazing past me and then settle very slowly then in front of me. And I thought, and he did. I could see him coming up the side. So I thought, no, he's not doing that. I'm not letting him do that. So, of course, I went as he went past. And then sort of I still faced front because I thought if he looks at me, I might die of fright or something.
I'll back down.
Yeah, that's right. So at least I just made the noise without actually looking at it.
Wait, did you make the horn noise or did you honk on the horn?
No, I honked my horn, but
it's serious when you've got your hand on your horn and you're also screaming out the window.
No, I'm not like that. I'm not doing that. I might be inviting some road rage big time.
If you could harmonize with it, get the fifth that me. Oh, that's not harmonizing.
Middle finger, the whole thing.
Yeah.
This looks more like beer.
It does. It's very golden. Yeah. It's very golden in color.
It's very golden.
Again, my head has completely disappeared.
Okay.
The number of times I said that sentence.
There's something wrong with your glasses then, because look at mine again.
I don't know.
Talking of your head.
Yeah, it's
talking of your head.
Still attached.
If I may say so. Well, this is the thing. I noticed. I was looking at your very handsome features there only 5 minutes ago, and thinking, I can't decide whether you look like Lenin or Sigmund Freud.
Good.
Which one? Okay, good.
I think it's going more Freud because I have been cast in 2 things, and fortunately, my attempt
one of them is Freud.
at sort of. For one of them, I got first. So I have been cast as Godfather Drosselmeyer in a local ballet production of The Nutcracker. So what I did a few years ago was I had the pointy beard, and it got longer and longer, and it shaped down. And I went, I'm gonna do that again. And I knew about it earlier. So I'm much to my wife's chagrin, I'm doing it the same way. But then I got cast as the club owner Max in Cabaret. Cabaret takes place in 1930s Germany. So I'm like, wait. Rich club owner in 1930s Germany checking on, artistic or, well-off facial hair in Germany 1930s.
Sigmund Freud.
And there it is with the zoop, with the coming to a point at the end, and I went, hurrah! So the only thing I've got to do is I can't have it be this gray. I am going to dye it mooey darker.
Okay, so it wasn't my imagination. It is a cultivated look, and clearly it's working because, well, to my mind anyway, it's you're nailing it, mate.
I can go
so far, and you've got a wee while to go yet, haven't you?
Yeah, well, nearly a month. Nearly a month. Okay, but I'm keeping the sides trim.
Well, then it coincides also with Movember. So you can, after that, you could. You're not into that.
Well, for Movember, don't you shave clean in at the beginning, and then you let it? It's just a 1 month growth thing.
Do you, or can you not maybe just really cultivate that handlebar moustache and look like Sam Elliott with the rest of it all gone and just
thoroughly dislike the current, I want to say, trend of these young early 20s boys in all the places, and they've all their clean shaven face, which takes all of 2 seconds because they've got 3 hairs growing on their cheeks, and they've got these ratty, wispy little mustaches, and I just think, why are we all? This is a trend. This is it. Someone has decided that haute fashion currently in 2025 is look like a child predator. That's the going plan.
Well, in that case, Sam Elliott's been a child predator for 80 years.
But he's got a nice big bushy. That's the Tom Selleck, the Magnum PI. That's different. When you can grow that. So I feel like by day 6 or 7 of attempted mustache, you know whether or not it's going, Wyatt Earp
well or not, yeah.
or child predator.
Or why are you doing that?
Why you doing Oh, we're so clever. Our hundreds of viewers are loving this. I think this smells great. They love that.
Are you? It doesn't have... Right, yes. It doesn't have any of the East Coast no nasal vibes going on, as far as I'm concerned. So, no, I do not. Oh, hang on.
I'm getting a bready smell off of it. Actually,
there is some juiciness that I'm smelling.
Just things. But it does say that there's going to be flickers of juicy peach.
Okay, that's what it is then.
You're picking up on that.
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
Well, cheers then.
Thank you.
Cheers, Propeller.
Cheers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Okay. I obviously didn't give it my proper nose at the beginning. I dabbled in there, and now I do. Oh,
and
it's even got the aftertaste. It's got an aftertaste of it as well.
Are you getting a bready maltiness?
Well.
This is like the alternate reality. Yep. This is
well done.
Leaning in that direction.
Well done, yes. Yeah. I'm getting this the smell then of that I did. I didn't at first, but then I got my nose right in it, and I did get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving with that. It doesn't have a big fruity flavoring throughout. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's
flickers.
There's an aftertaste, but it was slightly acidic.
Flickers of peach, followed by hints of citrus and pine. I'm getting none of that. Smooth and bright. I'm getting smooth and bright. It is bready. Medium bodied, lighter bodied than the 9 Locks. The 9 Locks was nearly a heavy bodied thing. That was a huge, juicy, thick IPA. Whereas this one, not just because it's transparent, but it
stronger again. It's just tiny bit stronger.
Juiciness is not. Yeah. No, the citrus is not coming through. This is a bready. This is a malty IPA. This is definitely closer to the alternate reality than anything. The new Cerberus was a bit like this as well.
I can kind of get the brightness of it because it doesn't have that squashy feel to it. It looks more looks more like a lager in its look.
It's a bit
thicker,
darker than
I guess,
that.
than a lager, but thicker, but
like an
amber. It has that kind of darker color. Yeah,
coppery.
That's right. Coppery, if you will. Okay, but it's perfectly see-through. It doesn't have any perfectly see-through.
Yeah.
This evening, I'm just saying stuff and then immediately saying, "Well, it's not that."
It's a bit like this.
That might be the beer that's doing it to me.
This is just like grape juice. Wait, no, it's not.
It's still smooth.
Oh, very.
That's for sure. Yeah, I know that about it.
I very much like this, but I also know that I think, did we not decide that the alternate reality was staying at North Brewing? I think it's still in their.
I thought
in their listing.
Oh, I thought it had been. I thought it had been subsumed by the Dishoom. Had it not?
Well, that was just the rumor that one server told me, and I hated that she told me that. It's not being restocked in the NSLC, but it's still on the North Brewing website. So there are currently in the entire province. The NSLC is telling me that there are 7 alternate realities available in Sydney Mines. So
not big in Sydney Mines then.
Get in your car.
Very well up there.
And off we go.
Okay. And I bet there isn't, because the liquor store, they have done this.
When it's low numbers like that, I've stopped trusting single digits.
Never take them.
Like if you say you've got 20, I'll believe that you've got some. But what was the time where it said...
We have one left on the shelf.
Brewing said we've got 2. And I'm like, nope, they were not there.
Yeah. No, we sold the previous 2 in 2019, but our stocks say that we still have two of them, and we have had for 7 years. Do you like this as much as the previous one?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Because the previous one I enjoy as a juicy, fruited hazy IPA. This one I love as a multi IPA, despite the fact that neither of them really describe themselves that way. That's the problem. It's not doing what it says on the can. It's freaking delicious. Okay. I love this. I would drink 6 of these. But it's not what I was expecting based on what the can said.
This tastes a bit like, not a bit like, it tastes very similar. Now, and I'm glad about that, because I don't know if you've had one of them yet. It's the homebrew I've got, the IPA homebrew.
Ooh, you've got a multi-homebrew, do you?
Well, I wanted it to be juicier than it was, because it's a New England style IPA.
Okay.
I wanted it to be a little bit more, and maybe I should give it longer in the bottle. Maybe I should give it another couple of months. But it doesn't. But this one, it tastes quite similar, I think.
Which way is it? Is it
currently?
Is it hazy?
The one I have is a hazy IPA.
Okay.
This clearly isn't. And you can tell just by looking at it.
This is not. This is not hazy at all.
But it has the flavor characteristics that are quite similar to my flavor palette, at least. And that's not a bad thing, because if that IPA, if that homebrew IPA, which costs $60 for damn near 45 or 50 of them, aren't too dissimilar to Propeller's $5, $5.50 can, then. And clearly, I know I'm sort of throwing it out a little bit. I'm not doing them a disservice. Clearly, Propeller are brilliant. I think they're a really great and experienced craft brewing company. But what I'm saying is, it says quite a lot about the homebrew. If it's to me anyway, it tastes not too dissimilar. It's like, when Rebecca always she's not a big fan at all of homemade wine. And I get it, but what I always temper that when I say to her, I understand what you mean. It's not as good as something costing $15 or $20 in the store. It's not. I know it's not. But to me, it's not too far away that it matters that much to me. You know what I mean? So therefore, I can pay $3 for a bottle of wine that I make myself, rather than pay $15 for one that isn't that much better.
I've made a couple of wine kits, and the most recent one was maybe 20 years ago, but I did make it. It was for my partner at the time, my daughter's mother. I got it. Well, that was her Mother's Day present. I said, I've got a wine kit. I'm gonna make it. The kids are gonna help. It's chemistry. It's fun. It's whatever. It was a red wine kit, and. I had experimented before in my younger years as well with some other wine kits, and we'd made a couple of white wines, and we couldn't figure out making white wine, far more complicated. Making a big, thick, bold red wine, so easy for 2 reasons. One, I feel like it's all about flavor. It's not about balance, it's a bit about balance, but some things like that. And also, you're drinking it in usually a red wine, a big thing, a nice bold red wine in the middle of winter. There's a snowstorm out. You'd drink, mouthwash if you could at that point. So,
right.
Even if it wasn't very
good. It doesn't have to be beautiful, does it? With a red wine, you can just drink a pint, drink it, and you always drink a bottle of it anyway. So
the exquisiteness. You see how that one fits on the palate.
No, that's right.
No, this one tastes like oaks and cherries. Go. And I like that. Right. I think that's why I am a beer drinker, and also I am a red wine. If I have to choose, and if someone says, "Oh, we're only having wine tonight," then Let's see, red or white.
Make
So,
it
and I'm like, bring me your most offensive red wine that you've got. Just find me the thing.
Big.
The thickest.
Audacious.
Yes, absolutely. With the most, I want a red wine that makes you have to cough after you've drank it.
Good. We're on the same page there as well, then.
Okay, I'll have another.
I'll have another bottle of that.
Yes, please. I was out. My friend Ian Smith, of Tapestry Beer Bar, the owner, operator, proprietor of Tapestry Beer Bar and Sac Vegas Brew Company, down at 833 Sackville Drive in Lower Sackville. But he was up. He comes up every now and then because he loves the valley. And we go out for lunch. And we went out to lunch, and he dragged me to a winery. And I'm sort of... But they had... And this was just up the way, a little further in Port Williams, called Planters Ridge, one of the wineries.
Oh, yeah.
And you could get little flights, three glasses, taste this, taste that. And I was looking through it, and I said, ooh, a flight of reds. And he said, "Oh yeah, you'll like that middle one. It's really bold and flavorful." So the middle one was the bold and flavorful one. The first one was like, "Yeah, this is a red wine, entry level." I forget even the name of it. The second one was called the Quintessence, and you're like, the naming of wine has started becoming nearly as fun as the naming of beer, and I like that. And then the third one was their port. It was this dessert wine, and I'm like, that's the best part about red wine, is that you can blur the lines and wander over into ports, and then you're just punching yourself in the face with flavor, and it's just, booyah, here you go. And you're basically just drinking super delicious liqueurs at that point. You're just throwing it back. Anywho,
absolutely.
Planters Ridge red wine. I have made red wines from kits, and they have gone pretty bold. So I think Rebecca should get. Well, wait. Does she like white or red?
We're red. We're both absolute red drinkers. We get it by the bucket load.
Dusty Kilbride at the bottom, was it?
She likes Dusty Hillside. No, Hillsider.
Oh.
American Oak, aged American Oak. This is the wanted craft. You're talking about the naming of them. Wines used to be so sort of sophisticated, and the French would call them. Blah, blah, blah.
Here
nowadays,
we go. Would you like the euthanized partridge? This is the euthanized partridge. The dovetailed swan 74. Would you like the?
Well, now the Aussies call them, of course, things like the fat.
Yeah,
fat bastard wine, and of course now that Snoop Doggy Dogg is making them,
the drinkable chuff,
so they can call them. It doesn't matter. Wine doesn't have that sort of same snobbery factor as it used to be.
It
people like you and me, people like you and me, like scumbags, can kind of drink pints of it rather than just this.
I know that the metronome or the balance and scale, it has to flip the whole way the other way. If it went too snobby, then it has to go the other way. Because there's one up at Grand Pré, and I rolled my eyes when they told me what it was called. They made a white wine, and they called it Conversation Water. And I went,
lovely.
Oh, you didn't call it that, did you? Come on. Why don't you just call it Loose Lips Sink Ships and be done with it? Come on, you can't just, drunken frat party. Just call it that and be fine. Drunk
but you know
conversation water.
Again, though, if people are just like scummy women are just sat around swigging pints of white wine, then it doesn't need to be Chateau de blah 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 from 1953.
But it used to be, and so they could feel snobby about it, and they could say things like that. And my favorite was when they would pronounce things in French wrong. I loved that bit. Was it? Oh yeah. You have to try this. This is La Patriage de Nice. No, it's La Patriage de Nice. You know what? Never mind.
That's enough.
Just don't worry about it. I really love this one.
This ghost ship. I have to say, this ghost ship, I like it, but there is a but, and I can't think of what it really is. It's a bit like a generic IPA, and it's a bit like my generic IPA box of homebrew.
Oh my, really?
So it's not exciting me. No.
Okay.
It's how, but I like it, and that's a good thing, because if it's a generic IPA and I say I'm liking it, then there's definitely a step forward from what it was a couple of years ago, right?
I think it tastes very similar to a Malternate Reality, and I'm a little annoyed because the label, the writing on the can, didn't say anything about bready, malty deliciousness. It made some crap up about peaches and fruit.
Okay,
and I didn't get
can I just say then, if that is the case, and you have a point, it does taste a little bit similar to the Malternate Reality. There was a time when the Malternate Reality, I was thinking, oh my God, this is so good, because I don't love IPAs. And the reason why I love this one so much is because it does have a maltiness and a breadiness. And because my palate now has definitely shifted, I'm getting more out of the big juicy bastards that we're getting here on the East Coast. And therefore, the Malternate Reality is not one I would go for over their big hazy cousins. And that might be the reason why I find this one now a little, not disappointing, because it's perfectly lovely, just not as exciting as I've experienced recently.
Interesting. Okay. Would you be curious to know that there's not a single craft beer named Little Bastard at the NSLC right now? However, there are five.
Skinny bastard.
There are 5 wines called Le Fat Bastard.
Le Fat Bastard. Yeah. I bet there are.
I hadn't heard of that one.
Old fatty.
Would you believe we've got one left and it's the strongest?
Excellent.
You all ready for this? Lunn's Mill Eclipse Black IPA. Lunn's Mill out of Lawrencetown. This is a new can design. I had this several years ago, and it was a black can with silver writing, if I'm not mistaken. There's nothing written on the can. However, if you go to the Lunn's Mill site, lunnsmill.beer/online-store, Eclipse Black IPA, a very dark hop-forward brew balanced by the malty body with a hint of roastiness. Great for those cold, dark nights, sipping by the fire or stargazing on beautiful summer's night. Doesn't say anything about the first rain in 3 months.
That covers all the bases. It covers all the. I was wondering whether or not, when I saw Eclipse there, Black IPA, I was thinking maybe, well, you told me you haven't had it for several years, but of course we had our Eclipse last year, and I was thinking maybe this was some kind of commemorative beer that any craft brewing places, they tend to jump on the bandwagon. They say, oh, there's an event coming up, a celestial thing. Let's do a commemorative beer along those lines.
I don't think it was for that particular Eclipse. Right. Maybe it was for one previous, but it didn't say anything before.
Oh. What, the one in 1923?
That's the one. Yeah, 23.
Okay.
You know your eclipses, well done.
No, I was just pitching a year from the distant.
This is.
I don't know when the last one was.
This is the
Black IPA.
This is thicker. Look at that. That's pouring darker than one of last week's stouts.
Yeah, one of them was a bit.
And we've had this conversation, and I've had this conversation with several people about the Briggenbarg Stout, about how it was making a play for the old English stout that isn't all just Guinness. There are more styles, and it opened my eyes. This adventure, this endeavor, this show, it opens my eyes more often than not.
And if you smell it, malty. Oh my God, it smells. You know the dark lagers that we've tried, and we're like, wow, that's so good. Big malty lagers that don't look dissimilar to this. However, this one, the head is staying creamy and.
Yep.
Look at it.
It's happily staying there. Look, come on, stay. Oh, it's not. Yeah. Okay, that is full to the brim. I
smell it.
Something wrong with my nose. This smells like, I don't want to say. It doesn't smell.
Oh, don't think.
Palatable.
Are you thinking it smells like your tomato soup?
No.
Because it's brand new, is it? No?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. It is brand new. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's not doing the tomato soup. It's
Okay.
Do you ever pump up a bike tire and then let a little bit of the air out and smell it? This smells like
All the time.
inner tube air.
Inner tube.
A little bit.
Air.
Just a little bit.
And not, but not in a good way.
But also with a roasty chocolate back end. So it says tonight we'll be trying on a little bit of inner tube air, but it's got a little bit of a backbite.
I was going to say, looks can be deceiving.
Yeah, oh, it's true.
Smells
very much.
Also be deceiving.
Well, all right. Yeah. I need to drink this now. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Doesn't taste like inner tube.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! What's the late thing that came in? Halfway through, and as I was swallowing it, I was like, "Wow, what? It's a completely different taste as it's going away."
They did say roastiness, didn't they?
Mm.
Wow. Okay.
My God, this is rich. It's so rich.
Hop
and then going
forward.
out the back.
Hop forward, balanced by a malty body with a hint of roastiness. Hint.
No, it's all the way. It's and I'm not even getting a hop up front.
No, neither am I. I am not.
No,
it's
all malt, and it's all roasted malt.
Yep.
But it finishes even maltier and roastier than it did halfway through. It's like oh, as it's going down, I thought, what? Whoa. It's like a kick in the teeth. Yeah. Smooth, rich. It's a winter beer.
Yeah.
In front of the fire.
And I hate to say it, you were talking about the ghost ship reminded you of the IPA that you made. This reminds me of the black IPA that I made.
Ah, okay. Right.
Similar. Mine was very roasty as well with the roasted malts.
Right. And I'm glad this one has been left to last because I think this deserves to be served warmer as it is. It's like a porter or a stout to me, or a really rich English ale.
It is very rich,
needs
isn't
to
it?
be warmer.
There's
the flavor is.
To it. That's good.
Yeah, I think we can't freeze out the flavor of this. This needs to be warmed up a little bit. No, it's a winter beer. Gosh, IPA is a winter. It's now winter. But you know what, Ross? It's thick as molasses. It's going to be difficult to drink more than a pint or two of this, I would imagine, even if we hadn't had the other two.
Yeah,
already.
You can't quickly drink. It is not a sessionable black IPA.
No.
The first one is the closest one to a sessionable beer of the three. So for all three, the server comes up and says, "Would you have another one?" If I'm drinking the 9 Locks White IPA, yes, bring me another. Post haste. The ghost ship, probably. I'd probably have another. The Lunn's Mill, I would stare at them and say, "I've still got all of this. Go away."
So
you're
only talking about the sessionability, because I understood that you
just for now,
may have preferred the ghost ship, over to the white IPA. They are,
so...
and I said at the top of it,
it's so good.
When I was saying, at least we're comparing IPA with IPA, we really aren't we?
These are apples, oranges, and trampolines. These are completely different fish.
All three of them.
Yeah,
all three of them. Isn't that nice though? Because IPA, we're like, oh god,
so
IPA. It's so
well. That's why
now.
When I finally saw one and it said a black IPA, and I went, I'm interested. What's going on? And I tried this one, and I poured this a few years ago, and I said, "You're trying to tell me that you are a India Pale Ale, an IPA?
Yeah.
You've just put the word black in front of this, and this is supposed to be what you get with an Alexander Keats can? Like, I don't know about that."
So what does you ask yourself? The word pale, what is it actually referring to? If that's the case.
What are you saying? And I think pale ale is a style, and then they added this. Oh, this is a pale ale that's literally heading to India. So we have to flavor the crap out of it, and then a bunch of chemistry happens while it's on a sketchy boat from the East India Trading Company. Maybe, I think. Who? Here's a good question.
It seems to be what's the word again? That often word when it's when something is a direct contradiction of itself.
Oxymoron,
not an anachronism,
or
oxymoron. Thank you. Absolutely. It's an oxymoron. How can you have something that is pale and black? It doesn't seem to work in my mind. But of course, what they're saying is they're brewing this brew in the style of an IPA historically, but they've done something else to it because they're a craft brewery, and they can mess and fuck with whatever they like because that's what they do, and that's why it's exciting.
I think they've just roasted the crap out of the malt, and as we've found with the double IPAs, if it's over hopped and you over malt it at the same time, then it becomes glorious and delicious and good.
Glorious.
Can I
tell you? You said that like Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, that's my signature. Hello, glorious. Yeah, take this Klingon batleth and destroy your enemies. That's how Sigmund Freud. I'm pretty sure that's how that.
Oh, absolutely.
He's heard of the Klingon species. I know a thing about the word oxymoron, and I want to sound smart.
Go ahead.
The word oxymoron is itself an oxymoron, and I love that. Because it is a combination of two words, two ancient Greek words specifically, oxy and moron. And oxy is the ancient Greek word for sharp. And moron is the ancient Greek word for blunt. Hence, when you called someone a moron, originally you were calling someone blunt-witted. So you were blunt.
Makes sense.
You're blunt. You were moron. And it became you are a moron. And that's where the word moron came from, because it's literally the word for blunt. But the word oxymoron, how it was invented, was you are a sharp blunt. That is a sharp blunt, which is a contradiction. It's impossible. You can't have a sharp blunt. So that's what an oxymoron is, a sharp blunt.
A sharp blunt. You have just reminded me, you and I have been playing Words with Friends online Scrabble now for a couple of years. I've been playing it with Becca.
You're about to win this next game, and I'm certain.
I think I am.
Yeah.
However, the amount of times there is ox down there, and I have an I in my hand, and I think, oh, surely oxy is a word. Why is it then that if moron comes from, did you say Greek?
Yep.
What did you say it comes from? Right. And oxy does, and they're two different words. Why can I have moron, but I can't have oxy? We have all kinds of foreign derivative words that we are allowed to use in Scrabble and Words with Friends. But oxy, annoyingly, especially right now, is not one of them. And it could give me a decent score at times. And Words with Friends says, no, be gone with you.
Well, cause oxy with an I, what I'm talking about, because when you spell oxymoron, it's OXY.
Ross,
yes.
That may be the reason why it won't have it then.
I think that's why, because I just checked the Scrabble dictionary, and for OXI, it says nope. And for OXY, it says, oh yeah, that's a Scrabble dictionary. Even though meaning of OX.
Okay, fiendishly pointed out that I'm a moron myself. I'm a blunt moron. I was spelling oxy incorrectly.
You blunt-witted dullard. Look at you there with your sitting there sipping at your. That's your black IPA, which makes no sense. A thick, an opaque pale ale. What?
Maybe I was confusing the oxy then with the washing powder then. But I thought it was the
potentially.
Same spelling.
But my favorite, it says that it's a valid Scrabble word, OXY, and then it says meaning of OXY. No definition found.
Thanks. That's explained that then. You're supposed to be a dictionary, aren't you?
I mean, I'm trying. I have the internet. It's over here. valid in these dictionaries. It is in the Scrabble, U.S., Canada, and Thailand dictionaries.
That's the one I use.
The U.S., Canada, Thailand one?
The Thailand
That
one.
would explain several of your words.
And that's why I've been spelling it OXI all this time.
I think so.
The Thai spelling of it. Yeah. This is very malty. Very,
very roasty.
Very, very roasty. Very roasty. It's very rich, very roasty, full of flavor. I would only want one of them right now. If it were wintertime and I'm in front of the fire and I'm sipping a beer, I might have a second. God, it's thick, isn't it?
It is. And
full of flavor.
I like that. I mean, I'm fine with it.
I am sweating here, though. It's even though, despite the fact that we have had some of that weird stuff falling out of the sky that I'd forgotten even existed.
Right.
This evening.
Clown's tears.
Cooled things down. Yeah, it's still sticky. We had 30 degrees 2 days ago, Ross, didn't we? And it was sweaty as all hell again. In the 5th of October, whatever it is, 6th of October. Finally, it looks like it's going to cool down a little bit, and maybe we're going to have a little more rain, but it's sticky as all hell right now, and I am feeling quite faint. So having this big, rich IPA, I'm noticing in the phone screen that my ears have done that thing that they do, where they go bright red.
Really?
When I have said red wine,
several IPAs,
which it happens to. Yes,
and a couple of red wines.
Very rich.
It's
cloying. It's cloying.
It is getting a bit like it is sticky. It's
cloying.
Sticky on the molars and the back of the throat.
It is.
Could you mark any of these? Could you give them a numerical?
I was going to.
What do you think?
I was going to earlier on with the first one, and then obviously we got sidetracked. And by the time we got to the second one,
well, I was happy. Usually I give them as I go, but I was happy to wait until the end, and I think that's helped.
Good idea.
Contextualized.
Good idea. But there again, they're so dissimilar. There's nothing that you can judge. It's like having a stout after an orange juice. It's just so weird.
But that helped for me because I'm trying to mark them in their own categories. So as a whatever a white IPA is. But to be honest, it seems to nail what you'd think a white IPA should do. So I said that's a 9. That's a 9 out of 10. The Ghost.
I love the white IPA.
The Ghost one from Propeller, while I love it because it tastes like a alternate reality, it's very malty, but it strayed from what they were advertising on the can, so I only had to give them an 8.
Okay.
And then the Eclipse Black IPA, this is just based
out of the box,
based on the description. Based on the description, what you get. I gave it a 9.3.
It did everything. Okay. Because it was saying it was really
it's going to be roasty and malty, and I'm like,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So where did you land?
It's impossible. Because they are all so different.
Not compared to each other, though. On their own, in their own categories, and you have to take yourself kind of a little bit outside of the box to do it. Moose antlers and all. Hey.
Well,
Rocky.
Then what's the name of that thing?
I don't know
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Where that came from.
Is that Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Yes, it is.
We never had that in the UK. That was definitely something that is a North American thing.
A minute of that show.
Okay.
Never.
Good. Is it still showed? Do they still make it?
Oh God, no! What? What? I'll look it up, and you're gonna be embarrassed.
Maybe not.
As to when it actually aired. Oh, good. It had 5 seasons.
Oh, okay.
In 1959 to 1964. Wow. This is what we're talking about.
So when was the Jetsons?
Oh, that was post Flintstones, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, 62.
Was it really?
3 seasons in 1962.
Of the Jetsons.
And the Flintstones.
So the Flintstones were.
They were 1960 to 1966. 6 seasons in the 60s, but the Jetsons. So after 2 seasons of the Flintstones, the Jetsons came out. So I guess they ran at the same time for a couple of years, but now they didn't make it quite for the day.
Were they? I kind of get the feeling they were the same stable, were they not? Were they Hanna-Barbera, both of them? Were they?
Yeah. In fact, I think.
Okay.
Was Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Because they made all by the same sort of company, because they all had that style of. I don't know about Rocky and Bullwinkle, but I have seen clips. Obviously, I'm not living under a stone, and they kind of had that feel of classic Hanna-Barbera, brilliant writing, and funny on 2 levels. Because as a child, you could watch that. I rather like The Simpsons. You could watch it as a child and enjoy elements of it.
Are you really going to crap on Warner Brothers and the Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies from the 1930s? Because those are still timeless humor going on right there.
I'm not crapping on anything. I'm talking about specifically Hanna-Barbera, that they have this thing about them that you can watch them as adults as well. I bet I could watch the Flintstones. I'm not talking about that awful Rosie O'Donnell movie from.
No. I'm talking about the original cartoons. Yeah. I have watched so much of it. One of my favorite jokes: Fred gets himself locked in a trunk, and he's stuck. He's locked in a trunk, and Barney says, "Fred, stop laughing, or stop yelling at me. You've only got enough air in there to last you for about another 30 seconds. So hold on, I'll be back in a minute." And he runs off to get help. I died. I think I was 13, 14 years old, and I went, "That's comedy. You've only got enough air for 30 seconds. Now hold on, I'll be back in a minute."
Right. Now, would you have got that? I mean, that's what I'm getting at. It had really clever elements that maybe adults would find way more funny than kids. Kids would laugh because it's a cartoon, whereas adults watch there and they think the writing is really funny.
Hanna-Barbera was a company it was incorporated in 1957. Rocky and Bullwinkle started in 59. So this requires a little bit more looking into, because they were produced by a company called J. Ward Productions, Gamma Productions, Gerald Ray Studios. So it wasn't quite part of the Hanna-Barbera umbrella, but regardless of that. Again, we learn something every week. We learn so much.
Absolutely.
So curious.
That's what to the internet. You haven't said that for a while. The White Locks. The White Locks.
The White Locks.
Yep. The White Locks 9 IPA. The 9th IPA by White Locks. I really liked, and I don't know why, because it was a wheat IPA, and it wasn't juicy as all hell, which I've come to really appreciate off of IPAs, of the ones I really like.
Yeah.
But it was a hybrid of me loving what I love about the Northeast now, and my little dabbles into the West Coast piney versions. Okay. And it had just enough of the West Coast to make it a little interesting for me. So a slightly hoppier East Coast hazy thing, and I really liked it. 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
The Ghost Ship, I should have liked it more. Ooh. because it had a maltier backbone, but clearly my palate has shifted. However, I do acknowledge what you're saying, that market by itself, however, they didn't mention that it was a big malty thing, were they? It didn't. No, it didn't taste very IPA-ish for me. Me personally, and that may be because of my yearnings now for the other kinds that I love. and I'm not
my
talking about
bloodthirst for the hops.
I know. Give me the fucking fruited hop. Give me it. But it's perfectly fine. 8 out of 10, because it's still a pretty bloody good beer, right? And who am I to cast any aspersions on Propeller Brewing Company? they know a thing about.
I mean, you can trip.
No, I can't. Because they still make the best
even as
ESP
the
as well.
biggest. Oh, I forgot to go to Lunn's Mill. Whatever. Sorry, Lunn's Mill. I forgot to change my background, but that's okay. It's a podcast.
I like Propeller's Ghost Ship. It's perfectly fine, but I don't find it particularly exciting as IPAs go. There are better out there, in my opinion.
Yep.
And what did they say? Yet shrouded in mystery. Oh no, that was the other one that said in the sea. That was why. That was the 9 Lux one. The Eclipse by Black IPA. The Eclipse by Black IPA. Good grief. I don't know. I'm not even speaking English anymore. It's to me, it's not an IPA at all. It clearly they know what they're talking about because they made it in the style of an IPA, and they've made it, and they've done whatever they can to make it this distinctive black IPA. It's bloody lovely. It's rich. It's
black IPA is a thing.
It's rich and smoky and roasty, and I want it in the wintertime, down by your fire pit, when it's about 4 or 5 degrees outside, maybe on an evening, and we can still just about feel our fingers as we're strumming our guitars.
Yep.
That's when I would have this, and it's quite delicious. 8.8 for the style of it alone. For a beer, yeah, it's a really, really yummy and roasty, but I don't want another drop of this right now because it's way too hot.
I'm still happily supping away at this one.
Okay. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to pour this down the sink. A beer has not been made that I poured it right down the sink, and I drunk Coors Light. So I'm still gonna finish it. But yeah. But what I will say is the fruit flies are having a field day around the dregs of the black IPA. They're loving it.
Fair.
Yours?
I don't have many fruit flies down here at all.
Lucky you. You're in the Lunn's Mill establishment right now.
Yep.
You know?
Well, I have finally switched it around, so I finally got there. I don't think I've stepped foot
Looks great.
in this establishment. We have talked to Sean.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there's several S's and H's at the beginning of his name, but I'm fairly certain it was Sean Ebert that we talked to of the Lunn's Mill. Yeah, several years ago. It's been a while. Maybe we'll reach out again. And yeah, we talked to him, and I think we had I believe that was one of the nights. Again, people make us drink the Purple Grain IPA, which is
the Purple Grain IPA is a classic, is it not? Now?
But
it's their flagship, is it not?
I would sit around and have the Eclipse Black IPA and the Caper Crusher, and I might even have the Girl Hold My Earrings goes before I'd get into the Purple Grain. I'm not a Purple Grain fan. I don't know why. Perfectly good Prince song.
They sell a lot of it, and I like it.
I know.
It's
crazy.
Yeah, it's not my absolute favorite, but it's really good. And I guess they sell a lot of it for a decent for a reason. What I will say is, the Lunn's Mill. You said you haven't been there for. Have you been there at all? I haven't been there for a few years either. It used to be way closer to me where I lived, and therefore I could pop in there and have a little pint. But
maybe I'll do that. It's a good time.
Yeah,
it's a good time to reach out.
It's a cool place too. Cool place. I love their deck.
All right, fine. I'll reach
out. Cheers, mate. I'm out of here.
Right. Oh, and he finished his. He finished his black IPA, I think, unless he didn't pour it all in one can. But you can find us. You can come back and see us every week. We're here every week from 8 till 9, and then some. We're pretty late. On the YouTube page, youtube.com/@drinknsdry. You can find us in all the podcasty places. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube for our kind of shorts and whatnot. I edit things up. And if you want to go straight to the source, it's drinkns.unsupervised.beer. But thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you to Lunn's Mill, Propeller Brew Company, and 9 Locks. And, of course, my co-host, Ian, for being here tonight. And we'll hopefully see you next week. Good night.